Oh, how you doing, guys? I'm in business when I have coffee and my notebook. I wanted to have a bit of a chat with you guys about 2016, the year just gone. Kind of reflect on it a little bit, because it has been a quite remarkable year in many ways. A lot of people say that it's been a bad year, and it's hard to kind of disagree with some of the aspects of it that people are talking about. For starters, I think there was a lot of celebrities lost, a lot of great artists that influenced a lot of us. Many of us over the years were lost in 2016. If somebody famous dies, it does have a bigger impact on like a larger amount of people. But the thing that very often gets lost in those moments is that, like, they also are, they're somebody's daughter or somebody's son or somebody's father or somebody's mother. So there's families are affected as well, which is the point that, like, even though there was a lot of famous people lost in 2016, many of us lost loved ones as well along the way. So these people might not have had as big global impact, but they're still people. They're still somebody's loved one, and they're still as important as anybody else. It is the circle of life that we do lose loved ones along the way. All we can hope for is that these people had a great life. They achieved some of their life ambitions and goals, and it's all I can hope for myself when my time comes, that I have achieved some of my personal goals and life ambitions, and lived a good and fulfilling life. Then the other kind of two big things were the Brexit, Britain choosing to leave the European Union, which to me personally, was it a shock? Obviously, was it a big, massive surprise? Thinking back now, probably not. Personally, I feel kind of sad about it, because I think I personally believe that the less borders we have in this world that we live in, the better. But maybe some parts of this world are simply not ready for it yet. So we have to respect those people as well. And I think it's a sad thing, but we shall see what comes out of it. There's a lot of people that I know. A lot of people thought it was a great idea. A lot of people that I know who thought that it's exactly what EU needed. A lot of people have grown very tired of EU. I think EU is still a wonderful idea. I just think some of the aspects of how it's been managed might not be the best. And I wish that the people in power in EU would kind of look at it and try to understand why this happened, rather than just go on an attack, which is pretty much what they've done. They just want to get Britain out of it as fast as possible, and that's just not. I don't think it's a very constructive way of dealing with it, but that's just the way it is. Hopefully, in the long run, there'll be something good come out of it as well. The other big news and shock to the system was the selection of Donald Trump as the president of the United States of America. Yeah, it was a big shock, but again, looking back now, you can kind of understand where it kind of came from. And there's a lot of people are kind of feel very disconnected from the current system, and he ended up being the rebel vote, which I think is kind of pity, because there was a potential for other better rebel votes out there, but it never came down to it. So again, kind of what worries me most, not worried, but kind of what bothers me, or kind of makes me feel maybe a little bit sad about the whole thing, is that unfortunately a lot of people in the bigger picture of those two big events were fueled by certain element of, as I said, a disconnect from the old system, and certain kind of divide. In some cases, it went even being as far as elements of what could be called racism, which are totally based on information maybe feel a little bit wrong, or because that's not what it's about. Like, there's bad people wherever you go, and there's good people wherever you go. That's the first thing I've ever learned when I travel. And you're not going to protect your own society by locking your doors, because as weird, as strange as it seems, there's a lot of things happen in your society based on the fact that there's actually diversity in it. And I hope we're never going to lose that. I hope that's going to be a big part of our world in the future as well. And the other thing is that I kind of personally believe that the true cause behind all of it is that it comes down to the same old ideas of like the Roman merchant laws, which were based on that, you know, there's people who have and people who don't, and you know, there's people who are rich and there's people who are slaves. The rich needed to have control of how to control the slaves, because there's a lot more slaves than there were the rich people, and these laws were put in place so that, you know, the rich would have the money and they could control the slaves. Over time, those same merchant laws got adapted. Obviously, slavery was considered something that is not okay. Ironically, apparently there is more slaves in the world today than there ever has been. Think about that for a second. The whole idea of slavery was just modified into something else. It was modified into the working class who had to work really, really hard to achieve certain things in their lives, which, for example, you know, to have a house, you need to be able to afford a house, you had to take a mortgage from a bank, which then tied you in a situation that you had to be paying a certain amount of money back to the establishment every month, and to do that you had to work really, really hard, which made the job that you had more important, and they kind of tried to keep you in a position where you will be working in that position, and you're happy to have that position, even that somebody else is actually making all the profit out of you. Now, with the introduction of, and I honestly believe internet, think people have come to kind of realize that it's become more apparent that this is the situation. You see, back in the Roman days, they had the gladiator games, which was like the big entertainment to keep the people who didn't have as much money entertained and kind of focused on something else. In our lifetime, it's very much been TV, and you can see the crazier the TV shows get, you know, the more desperate to try to hold on to your attention. Internet is taking all of that away, so there's a fear of, you know, the people that have against those who don't have. The fear of them losing control is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That's why they're trying to control the internet. That's why they're trying to fight very hard to keep control. And it's better for them, for the rest of us, to be angry with something else, focus on something, our anger and our fight against something else, so that they look like they're the guys that can actually help you, where in fact all they're trying to do is just keep the same system going in one form or another. I personally believe a lot of that is where this trying to divide us and trying to push us into trying to push us to think that, you know, the foreigners are the problem, or, you know, which has never been the case. It's the problem lies much closer to your home than you realize. It's the same old divide. So yeah, these are the kind of things that kind of worries me and makes me a little bit sad in 2016 of what I've seen. But at the same time, I do believe that the root of all of those decisions is the desire for change in the overall system that we've been living in for a long time. And I think the desire for that change is good. I just hope that it's going to get directed better somewhere along the way. Hopefully more and more of us are seeing kind of the system and the flaws in the system. I truly hope so. I truly hope that like kind of in the political sense, we are being shook up enough that there's some sort of change in the future ahead of us. But we'll see. Only time will tell. You know, sometimes we do need to hit the rock bottom before we can actually start rebuilding. Have we hit the rock bottom yet? I don't know. But I'm being hopeful. But at the same time, I have to kind of look at the good that has happened as well. And personally, for me, 2016 was a very productive year. So it was a good year. I got to do a lot of things. I think in like 2015, I kind of took control of my personal health and made myself a little bit fitter, and, you know, lost a little bit of excess weight, and which is a tough thing to do, but at the same time, it's the easier part of it. In 2016, I actually just maintained that, which is the really tough thing to do, which is the big battle. And I definitely have had a massive change in how I look at things like alcohol and even food, which I'm really happy about. I don't believe in kind of the complete extreme approach, even though that I take it very often myself. I don't think it's a long-term solution, and I think I'm kind of finding the balance, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, hopefully in 2017, that's something that I want to continue doing, is just kind of take care of as good care of myself as possible, but without depriving a life, being able to live as well. Work-wise, I had a quite amazing year. The vlogging has been a massive part of 2016. There's only a couple of days I missed due to a pretty bad stomach bug on my travels. But apart from that, there's been a vlog every morning, and I'm really, really happy about that. I don't know what the future of the vlog is going to be, but I seem to be more and more focused on the travel vlogs in the past few months. Hopefully I can keep that going. I don't have any trips planned as of right now, but I know that there will be several throughout the year, put it that way. We just haven't kind of nailed down, we haven't bit the bullet, set dates, booked flights and that kind of stuff, which is something is going to be ahead of us. I'm kind of planning things at the moment, and hopefully we can make those plans into reality very, very soon. I also want to do more of this kind of vlogs where I'm kind of just talking to you guys. The day-to-day vlogging of my life in Dublin, it will be part of the vlogs, but it won't be every day. I want to be parts of it, but not all the time, because I do think that can get very repetitive very fast. So I want to have more focus on the vlogs in 2017, which I will do. Songwriting. 2016, I've finished another year of 52 song challenge, which was my third year. So I put altogether 156 songs together in the space of 3 years. That's a lot of songs, and I've actually allowed myself possibly the next few weeks, maybe even a month, off from songwriting completely, and kind of reset my brain and think about things where it is going to go next. But there's more about that actually in tomorrow's vlog, so check that out. It's been an amazing year. I've pulled out some amazing songs. I think the ultimate test of those songs is that the ones that actually make it to the live sets of different projects that I'm doing. And since the very first year, when I kind of the first batch of songs, I had to push them out live because I wasn't doing that many other live songs at the time. Since that first year, I think this year more than ever, I've kind of added more songs to the live set, and so that's a good sign of that. There's been a good quality songs coming out of there. I've definitely found, both experimented and found my own voice a lot more than I have in the previous years, which I'm very, very happy about. The sessions in the Porterhouse have been going extremely well, so well that they actually expanded them to an extra day a week as well, so which I'm doing now 4 days a week, which is quite amazing. Somebody came to us 2 days ago. We were playing the session, and this couple were sitting down. And you get compliments all the time, and we really appreciate those compliments when people do come and say, like, really enjoyed the music, and it's great. But so once in a while somebody comes in and they really get it, and somebody came and said, listen, thank you very much, guys, thank you for the wonderful atmosphere you're creating here. And that's what the session is very much about. It's creating the atmosphere in the pub. That kind of made me very happy, because there was somebody who really got it. The session is a weird one, because it's almost like taking your own ego a little bit out of it, because, as I said, it's more about the atmosphere than it is about you standing in the limelight and being like, okay, I'm the star of the night. It's not about that at all. It's about creating atmosphere through the music. It kind of makes you more into a kind of like a vehicle or a tool of something that just, it's humbling experience, and it's a great experience. It makes you think the music in a different way, and I'm really, really happy to be part of that, and I'm really happy that we have a really good crew doing that as well. Speaking of the limelight, I also got the Liberty Hell, was kind of put into shape and born in 2016, and by God did we have amazingly great start to the year. We've done a massive amount of gigs for our first year. Hopefully we can just continue and even do more in 2017. It would be nice to get out of Ireland as well in 2017 with Liberty Hell, and we don't know yet. We don't have any exact plans. We've been talking about since the beginning of the band, but we'll see if we can make that happen. That would be absolutely wonderful. Liberty Hell is something that I very high hopes, and my passion is running pretty wild with it at the moment, so there'll be a lot of things happening with that band. It's a kind of band that I still try to wrap my head around what's happening, because it's a lot to do with the chemistry within the band and like what happens in the moment. It's a very different approach to music than I've had before. With other bands, I've been very concise and very kind of squeezed to make the most of it. Whereas in Liberty Hell, there's a lot of kind of like jamming elements of it, where you just go with it and you see what comes out of the music. So it's very exciting. It's different to me than a lot of other projects I've done in the past. So there's going to be a lot of exciting things hopefully happening with that project. Slither is still going strong. We're still doing 2 shows a week in a Porterhouse every week. It's been a good year. We had a really nice summer tour. We haven't done as much touring than we have in the past years, maybe. The tours that we've done have been very, very successful, and they've been really enjoyed them. There's been a lot of talk about making the new album for the past few years now. We don't know where we are with it at the moment because there's been a few financial problems along the way with the band, which running a band like Slither can be expensive business at the best of times. But it's going solid. We are experimenting in our gigs in Porthouse a lot, trying to find the next kind of approach, which way we want to go with the music in the future. But we'll see. We'll get there. So yeah, it's been a very, very productive year for me. Work-wise, I've got unbelievable amount of stuff done. Also, on a personal level, I got to travel a lot. I made a big effort to travel a lot, which was an amazing experience. Loved every bit of it. I got to see some new places in the different parts of the world that I'd never been. Absolutely loved it. There was Hong Kong, there was Bali. Got a chance to go back to Israel once again. Spent the Christmas in Coralejo in Fuerteventura. Got to go in summertime to Czech Republic and Austria again. Got to go to Lisbon in Portugal earlier this year. So it's been an amazing year. Started the year in Poland. It's been a good year. Busy year. Got to do a little bit of travelling in Ireland as well. Managed to make it to Galway, which was it's always achieving for me to get out of town here in Ireland. At the end of the year, I became an uncle. My brother had a baby, which is I'm over the moon about that. To think my little brother has a baby is just amazing. Can't wait to go to Finland and meet this little guy. Also, there's a kind of personal stuff that I've done in 2016, which I'm really happy about. I helped a lot of friends with their kind of work-related stuff. And I think I want to do more and more of that because, I mean, that's some of that stuff, yes, I did get paid for. Most of it I didn't, and it's a very rewarding thing for me to do, and I hope that I can do that in the future because I think that's very important of removing ourselves sometimes out of that link and just kind of focusing on other people's benefit as well as just ourselves, because I believe it is a kind of karma thing that what you put out in the universe, it'll come back to you somewhere along the line. So I'm putting a lot of investment into that part of my future as well, if you like to think of it that way. Also, I got to rekindle some friendships that people I haven't seen in ages. Got to see Kuranaga over the Christmas, which was absolutely amazing. Got to see some friends in different environments as well, like Lenka and David came to visit us here in Dublin, which was great. These are all friends that I met throughout the years and just don't get enough time to spend with them, and to get a chance to do that it's just amazing. Hopefully I can do a little bit of that in 2017 as well, and kind of spend more time, quality time with friends. That's kind of something I really hope I can manage to do. So that's quite a lot. So as you can see, hopefully this makes you kind of think a little bit about what your year was like, and please let me know in the comments about some of the good stuff maybe that happened to you in 2016, because we've been focusing so much on the negative, the global scale negative stuff. So maybe we could have a bit of a conversation about the good stuff. So please let me know in the comments what are the great things that happened to you in 2016, and maybe let us know what your plans are for 2017 as well. But yeah, as you see, like for me personally, it wasn't all bad. It was actually a lot of good things. I would say even a lot more good things than bad things happened personally in my life, and I think many of us might forget that in the middle of because we focus so much on the bad things. So just think about those good things that happened to you in 2016, and be thankful for those things. I'm thankful for all the great friends I have, great colleagues that I get to work with, and great woman that I'm in a relationship with. I have a roof over my head. I'm healthy, even though I have a cough at the moment. I'm healthy. I'm in reasonably good shape. I have a job that I love doing. I get to create stuff every day, so I'm very happy. And I hope you can see some of those good things in your life as well. So there we go. That's the wrap up of 2016. This has been a long rant. Hopefully you guys got through it, and thanks if you did get this far. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. And as I said, let me know how your year has been in the comments, and I'll talk to you guys soon again.